Hey! Is the noon train on time?
Supposed to be.
Feels like it's time.
Fair enough.
BBN Jack Frost. What's up, party people? How's everybody doing? I'm hoping everybody's having a beautiful day. Okay, we got a lot to talk about. First thing I want to say is, I get it. A lot of the videos that I've been making seem like it's just Democrat bashing. And what I need for people to understand is, I'm not bashing Democrats as much as I'm saying it's so obvious with a lot of the issues that we have in the world are so obvious for people to ignore an issue that is a problem because a person that they are told that they should not like might be endorsing said solution does not make sense to me. I think that we got to do better. I don't know of a way to explain that. So a lot of the videos that I make obviously would be me talking about contrasting. I'm trying to find a way to say not calling people liars, but I'm trying to express that there's just certain information that you shouldn't give credence to. It has no credibility. When somebody decides that they're going to tell you something based on how they feel about a person rather than how that information is going to benefit you or hinder you, that means that whatever they're telling you is for their own personal, I don't want to say glorification, but for their own personal benefit. And you actually having this information and applying this information actually does nothing at all to improve your life at all. And in many instances, it's just something that could just be a unnecessary problem. You're just taking unnecessary steps to do unnecessary things for unnecessary reasons. So sometimes that's how we have to accept some of the information in which we're given. So I have some things to show you today because we have to talk about this, because the main thing that I've been telling y'all for the longest is that there is a World War III currently actually in process. It just hasn't risen to the level that it's a reason for them to actually make the people of America knowledgeable or informed on it. And if people want to say, oh, Jack Frost, what is he talking about over here? He has no ideas. Read more about World War II and why America actually entered so late, because there were people over here basically saying it wasn't happening. That's neither here nor there. Once again, I'm going to try to stay focused instead of going off onto other shit that I find interesting. What up, young lie? How you doing today? Hope everything is going well with you and yours. Says, what up, Frost? Salutes to you, all of the salutes. Now, with that being said, just so we can be clear, the Democrats have been actively lying to their constituents, to their voters. I guess we're all supposed to be their constituents if we live inside of whatever the area is that they're governing, right? So if they're like the senator of New York, whether you voted for them or not, you are constituent. I think that's the biggest difference between what the Democrats, the elected officials specifically is what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the voters, because people take their lead from their leaders, right? Shout out to Rashad. Salute, brother. Salute, brother. Hope everything is going well with you and yours. So people take their lead from their leaders, correct? So I'm not talking about the actual voters when I'm saying what I'm saying. What I'm talking about is the people who are being elected and what they are saying. Imagine your people having had been attempted to be exterminated off of the face of the planet by very evil individuals. One of the most evil individuals ever to have existed in our understanding of the history of the planet. And people so callously throw around that somebody that they don't like is like that person. Think about that for a moment. Think about that for a moment. There wasn't even nothing there. It's the damn light. It's just tricking me. Think about that for a moment. Think about how, what up, Sha? Bring salute. Think about how they so callously throw that around. Like there are so many people that aren't here no more, that got lost their loved ones, that lost their lives, their whole families. Oh, just and they're just throwing that around so callously. At anyone that they decide that you shouldn't like. Let me show y'all something. Because there's a reason why I say when I'm having a conversation with somebody that I actually like as a person, and they're advocating for democratic policies, or I don't want to say democratic policies. That's not fair. Because some democratic policies are actually pretty decent. So we're not saying that. But they're advocating for some of the false or contrived hate against whoever's pro-Trump. And they go out and they repeat these things, and they're just wrong. But you can't blame them because they're taking their cues from their leaders. Right? Let me show you something. Let's get on this. So, I just want to conquer something real quick, because this is something that I don't think people understand and get. So I want to just get past something, so when you are in this conversation, you have the requisite information in order to make yourself be competent in said conversation. Because at the end of the day, it's always about sharing information to allow for the people that we care about to be informed, so they can make the best decisions for them and themselves and their household and the people that they love. Correct? So just pay attention, because y'all have been tricked, and I've been trying to explain tariffs for the longest. So I'm going to get somebody that I know right now people are going to give more of a they're going to have more faith in this individual's interpretation of how tariffs affect people than me. Because one, he rocks a suit better maybe. I don't know.
But did you know that the U.S. government collects roughly $4.7 trillion in gross taxes? 2023, $4.7 trillion, of which, do you know what percentage of those taxes is from tariffs that we get from other countries? You know what the number is? Only $80 billion. That's it. Now, this is why this is so weird. The $80 billion that we collect, if you go back and look at the history of America, where we got our income from to pay for everything, you know 100% of the money, the taxes that the U.S. government collected just a little over 100 years ago was from tariffs. If you look at this chart, it'll show you tariff revenue as a share of total federal receipts from 1798 to 2023. Go all the way back to 1798. Look at that. 100% of the revenue the U.S. government got was from tariffs. And every time you see a drop off, you see that one, right? 1812, it drops off to 45% because they wanted to collect taxes from you and I. That's because of War of 1812. Another crisis, another war. But even if you go all the way up to 1910, 50% of the U.S. revenue came from what? Tariffs. The other 50% was from excise taxes. So let me simplify this for you. How much money comes in from importing goods and services, right, from other countries? The number is $3.83 trillion in 2023. Of which the average tariff we get is around 2%. 2% equals to $80 billion. $80 billion is what other countries are paying, okay? 80 billion divided by the $4.7 trillion that the US government collects taxes from you and I. 80 billion divided by 4.7 trillion. That means 99.83% of all taxes that the government is running on, you and I pay for. The countries out there that are saying, here's 340 million rich Americans to come and sell your products to, these countries are saying, holy shit, America, this is the best deal ever. They're only paying 0.01.
Sheesh, I said a whole bunch of dope shit. I was muted. Thank you, Brandon Hunter. Salute. I said a whole bunch of dope shit. I was muted. Alright, we're gonna go right back. I just have to repeat myself. I guess I'm gonna say it for the first time. So, look, check this out. So, shout out to that content creator. I just want to say that real quick. Content creator, those guys right there, whenever you see them, the Harbor Boys, whenever you see them dudes, definitely pay attention to what they're saying. We have to make sure that we don't only look at one source of ideas or information for our media. Even though I might criticize the mainstream media all the time, I can't criticize them if I haven't seen what they've said, just so we can be clear. So I do watch also the shit that they're going on with those guys. When it comes up in my feed, I don't just go past it. I do the same thing that I do with any of the content that would be something that I would be enthused to see, for the simple fact that I don't know if I like the content until I've actually absorbed it. So I know I don't like Joy Reid. Why? I've seen her enough times to know that what she says is absolutely insanity. They talk about her in other countries, you know that, right? Like, other media call her insane. So I just want to be clear on something. Let me just say this real quick, and then I get back to what we're talking about. There's other media of other countries are creating content on Joy Reid about what's the next crazy thing that she say, because every day she just say some crazy shit, and then they put it on their thing, and then they talk about how the thing she said is crazy. It's bananas. But we have people in America that watch that same lady, and then when they get into a conversation with somebody on politics, they didn't spew the same rhetoric that this lady says, and then they think that they know what they're talking about. So that's bananas.
But did you know that the U.S. government...
Absolute bananas. Let's get to the show. I'm way past 10 minutes and 14 minutes. All right, let's get to the actual show. So, just so we can be clear, today's show is about the foreign drones. So, for everybody that don't know, there's foreign drones that has a whole mothership. I need for you to understand what I'm saying here. There is a mothership of these that lets out a shitload of drones, and it's flying over American airspace. How is this not shot down yet? You know what? Let's do this first.
Here's the real deal, Harris. You know, I'm also on the Transportation Committee, on the Aviation Subcommittee, and I've gotten to know people. And from very high sources, very qualified sources, very responsible sources, I'm going to tell you the real deal. Iran launched a mothership probably about a month ago that contains these drones. That mothership is off, I'm going to tell you the deal. It's off the east coast of the United States of America. They've launched drones, is everything that we can see or hear. And again, these are from high sources. I don't say this lightly.
Look, you've given us some pretty dire information just here, and I want to make sure that our viewers are digesting this. Iran has the capability to pull up along our eastern seaboard and launch drones the size of an SUV into the skies of several states, particularly New Jersey, where we know the incoming president has a large home. Also in the same county or nearby where some of these drones in New Jersey have been seen. That capability exists. It's possible some of those drones are here. So I have two questions. How are they fueling them? They have to land somewhere. Drones don't fly forever. Why don't they close down the airspace? Yes, it's inconvenient. Yes, it's the holidays. Shut it down. But if you start shooting things and you don't know how they're fueled, that's going to be mass explosions. This isn't like one spy balloon. Congressman, this is serious.
Got one more thing that I want to show you.
In the week since we left Russia, Moscow, where we are now, in February after interviewing Vladimir Putin, we've watched from the United States as the Biden administration has driven the U.S. ever closer to a nuclear conflict with Russia, the country that possesses the world's largest nuclear arsenal. It has accelerated ever since, and it's reached its apogee so far in the weeks after Trump's election. He's now the president-elect. In that time, just a few weeks ago, the Biden administration, American military personnel, launched missiles into mainland Russia and killed at least a dozen Russian soldiers. So we are, unbeknownst to most Americans, in a hot war with Russia, an undeclared war, a war you did not vote for and that most Americans don't want, but that is ongoing. And because of that war, because of the fact that the U.S. military is killing Russians in Russia right now, we are closer to nuclear war than at any time in history. Far closer than we were during the Cuban Missile Crisis. That would mean the elimination of Russia, the United States, and most of the rest of the world. We felt there must be someone behind the scenes in Washington working to make sure that this conflict doesn't become a nuclear holocaust. But we found out that no, in fact, there is nobody. Tony Blinken, the current Secretary of State, cut off all contact between the U.S. and Russian governments. There is no back channel, there is no conversation, there hasn't been for more than 2 years. That's shocking. Meanwhile, most Americans have no access to any perspective other than that granted to them by NBC News and the New York Times. They don't know how close we are.
And they got y'all out here talking about the most important freaking, the most important policy or the most important thing that Americans should be worrying about is women's freaking ability to abort babies. Now I need to know. I need to know at what point do we start acknowledging that the Democratic Party does not have our best interest in heart or in mind? First of all, just so we could be clear, whatever that, I'm going to talk about what these are. Give me 2 seconds. But whatever these things are, they haven't been shot down. As soon as it came over American airspace, it was supposed to get shot down. Second, I'm hearing they're the size of SUVs. These drones, not the mothership. These aren't little drones that we go buy from the shop and put a camera on. These shits is like the size of SUVs. Allegedly. Is that what you're telling me? What in the heck? And they haven't shot these shits down? Oh, they hovering around Trump's spot. And they're near the military base. So, just so we're clear, Joe Biden sends arms to the Ukraine to protect some border over there. Shout out to that shit, I guess. But he won't protect our airspace. Whose president is this? Whose vice president is this? I need an explanation. I'm not trying to be a dick. You know, if an explanation exists, I would just like to know what it is. You know, an explanation other than you're hoping that they kill Trump. An explanation other than you're trying to start World War III so you could try to make it so Trump has a terrible, terrible administration, or you can't transfer power. So I want to know. Why these things haven't been shot down. SUBCRIBE says it's because they can't kill Trump, basically. So they're trying to allow the Iranians, or that's who it's suspected to be, kill Trump. The Iranians. So stop everything. The Iranians have a mothership that could let out SUV-sized mother effing drones? Is that what you're telling me? These guys are supposed to be our enemies. I'm not speaking on why America and them are at war or fighting or got beef. We're not talking about that aspect of anything. I'm only saying, so they got drones the size of SUVs with a whole mothership? What you alluding to, SUBCRIBE? That it's actually some other people doing it, and they're trying to set up the narrative that it's the Iranians before they actually are successful? Because remember, just so we can be clear, this is happening around a military base. Why would the military not shoot these shits down? I need an explanation. I don't think people be awake, though. I think the term woke just simply means that you okay with anything happening. That's what I think woke means nowadays. For real. I don't think it means somebody that's aware, because that's what it's supposed to be. You know, now your eyes are open, you're aware. No, I think nowadays woke just means people that'll be like, whatever you about, I think it's cool, do it. That's what I think woke is about nowadays. Well, yeah, we're not supposed to. Let's go to that passage. Shout out to SUBCRIBE. Let's go to that passage. He put a passage in the chat. Let's go to it. Sheesh, I put it in the wrong jump off. There we go. The Lord's final judgment and glory. Oh, definitely agree with all of these things. For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. No, what are you talking about? Delete what? Hell wrong with you? Coming here, bringing the Bible in here, and you're talking about deleting it. Hell wrong with you? Okay. No, what the? We're not deleting nothing. I'm here with it. I don't care. We are never ashamed of the Lord, fam. Never doing that. Copy? The heck? Fam. Nah, you on point all morning. What are you talking about? They are absolutely something's going on. They're like, we gotta get Trump out of here. Do you understand that they're already releasing stuff that's gonna destroy people's legacy and put other people in prison, and those same people that's getting their legacy destroyed forever? Do you understand that that's a thing that's happening? Do y'all see? Can I say something real quick? I got a clip.
In the weeks since we left Russia, Moscow, where we are now,
in
in February, after interviewing Vladimir Putin, we've watched from the United States.
I just want to see if I loaded it up. I didn't load it up. Shit. Part of my language. Oh, I loaded it up. Can I just say something real quick? Just so we can be clear, this happened.
I'm going to start this off, since I'm the man of the hour, the man of the show. I want to ask LeBron, what does he mean by there's no party like a Diddy party? I truly want to know. And not only that, LeBron, how many Diddy parties have you actually been to? I'm really curious to know. And is that the reason you left social media? Because all the backlash you were getting for going to so many Diddy parties? It's just pathetic, man. People think this guy's a role model. He wants to defund the police, the most patriot people of America, serving and protecting our country. LeBron, you're a fucking scumbag, and I hope you get locked up in the same cell with Diddy.
So all I'm saying is this. There is a lot going on, fam. A lot. If you think the only people that's going down is these rappers, you're wrong. A lot of people are going to be going down other than these rappers. LeBron just disappeared off the map. Talking about personal issues. Yeah, I know which ones too. Jail. I'm just joking. That's all jokes. I don't even think. It's all jokes. We don't know. Maybe he twisted his ankle getting out the shower. What the hell do I know? He's like, we don't want to tell people. Maybe he also, this is just another way that he's trying to because he don't never want to play back-to-backs. This ain't the same NBA, fam. People forget. I just want to say something real quick. Michael Jordan had how many seasons where he played like every game? I don't think people understand how hard that is. Because they are hurt. He didn't go the whole season and didn't get hurt. This is sports. Every single player gets hurt. How many times he played the whole season? People don't like to recognize greatness. That's all. People got an issue with it because people don't see the greatness in themselves often. Everybody's great at something. But people sometimes refuse to see the greatness in themselves. So therefore, they don't want you to see the greatness in yourself. Or they don't want other people to see the greatness in you. So, sometimes focus on the greatness of yourself. Focus on it a little. When you start focusing on the greatness inside of you, you start being able to appreciate the greatness inside of others. And what is life about if it's not about finding people with similar quests, missions, and interests and building something with them? Something that if no one else, you could look back on with fondness. What is life other than that? Stop thinking that we're supposed to be here to be fighting wars. Or we're supposed to be here to grind every day until we're not here anymore. That's not. the intentions of the Most High. He gave Eve to Adam so Adam could have companionship. Why would he then want us to live lives of worry? These are all creations and manifestations of our own earthly desires, intuitions, and intrigues. Curiosity is good, but proof that curiosity is not the greatest thing is the apple and Eve. In any way, in any regard. So, like we was talking about, all I'm saying is this. If you got a mothership that has SUV-sized drones dropping out of it, first of all, if these are actually American things, then yeah, we need them big guns. That damn Second Amendment is going to come in. I don't know how useful it's going to be against SUV-sized drones. There's no telling what kind of artillery them damn things have. But I know one thing. The Republicans want us to keep our weapons, and the Democrats want to take them. Do you know what's happening in Canada currently? So in Canada, they have now decided that they're going to put a ban on 300 guns. So you have to take your gun in to them now. If you keep it, it's against the law. And guess what? Everybody's gun already has been signed for, so everybody knows where guns are supposed to be. So you can't even hold on to your gun and say you got to give it to them because they know that you got it. So 300 guns are now banned in Canada. Why would you ban all of those guns in Canada? If not, you do not want the people to be able to defend themselves against an invasion that you have created. They've just created so much unrest. And then you create the unrest, then people will be warring with each other. And as long as the people are fighting amongst themselves, you could come in and usurp whatever authority exists. I mean, isn't that like take over a country 101? I don't know. I be thinking stuff is common sense. Apparently, either I don't know what I'm talking about or it's not common sense. I don't know. Which way you want to take it. You know what? Like that. Like, whichever which way you want to go with it. It's either I don't know what I'm talking about or it's not. I don't know. Maybe it's just not common sense. I don't know. But any regard, so I mention that only to say the Democrats are the ones that's constantly trying to take the guns from the Americans that's here. Why? The Second Amendment was clearly put there to make sure that the American people have an armed militia just in case the government in case the government becomes tyrannical. This is a fact. So every time I hear, you don't need one of them big a person that's going to say that isn't going to sound like that. You're not going to need one of them damn big AR-CCs to shoot at weapons at the animals. You can use a regular other gun. First of all, just so we can be clear, you don't know how I want to shoot the animal. Just so we could be clear, you don't know how I want to shoot the animal. I might want to blow the damn thing up. Might want to blow it the kingdom come. I might want it to just be bits and pieces everywhere because I want to feed the other animals with its intestines. You have no idea what I want to do with the animal. So, What up, Jamal Fareed? You have no idea what I want to do with the animal. So I don't want you to say that you're going to take away the guns of the American people. That's one. Because you don't know how I want to kill the animal. You don't know which animal I got to try to kill. If there's a bear trying to bust down my door, I'd rather have an AR or some kind of assault rifle than have a damn handgun. It's a bear. I try to shoot it with a handgun. He going to shrug them things off and keep it pushing. It's a bear. So no, we're not doing that. Taking the American, and the Second Amendment exists to protect the First Amendment. And the First Amendment is the ability to basically criticize the government without having anything happen to you, the government trying to seek reprisal. That's basically what the First Amendment is. Everybody thinks the First Amendment is the ability to talk shit about people. I can say what I want about you. The First Amendment, that's not what that means. The First Amendment gives the ability to the American people to criticize their government without the government seeking reprisal. Because once we go back to people like Benjamin Franklin, one of the reasons in which why they came over here and they was whole criminals back in their country. One of the reasons why they was sent over here was because they was over there in that country and they were criticizing the government over there, and they had got retribution was seeked against them, and it was all type of different problems and everything else. So when they came over here in America and the Constitution was written, one of the bylaws or one of the amendments or one of the things that they decided was going to be in the Constitution, and not just in the Constitution, but the very first point that needed to be protected. Because if you understand how the Constitution works, every single amendment that comes after the other is there to protect the one that comes before it. So freedom of speech is the main thing that needs to be protected. The freedom of the rights of the people to be able to be independent from the government to decide what their future is. That's what that is about, just so we can be clear. The Second Amendment is to protect the First Amendment. What's the Third Amendment? To make sure that you can't come into my house and just usurp whatever's going on in my home. That my home is my home. What's the Fourth Amendment? The Fourth Amendment is you can't do any kind of illegal search and seizure on me. Pay attention. What's the Fifth Amendment? That I don't have to incriminate myself. So every single amendment is to protect the amendment before it. Just for people that don't know or understand these things. Anyway, I'm going off a whole different tangent. That's not where I was trying to go with what I'm having the conversation about. Just so we could be clear, I wasn't. So let's get back to what we're talking about, because I don't think people have an understanding of why the Second Amendment is so important. And I keep hearing, because if there's no Second Amendment, you can't protect the First Amendment. And without the First Amendment, you can't do any of the other amendments. You can't do any of them. Democrats are just dangerous. People don't even know what they're voting for. They don't have the slightest idea. Imagine voting somebody into office based on their gender and their nationality, rather than based on their ability to actually do the job. And not just voting the person in, but voting them into the highest seat in the land. There is no seat on the planet higher than the President of the United States. Every person on the planet knows this. Every human being alive know that there is no political seat in any government that is known to us that is higher publicly than the seat of the President of the United States. And you want to elect a person into that position based on their gender and their ethnicity. These people are just not serious people. And they don't want you to be serious people. They want you to think everything's a joke, laugh at everything, make fun of everything. They don't want you to take nothing serious. They want you to tell you everything is going to be okay tomorrow, but they want to tell you that every day. Don't be angry at the voter. A lot of us have, been under deep hypnosis from the Democratic Party at one point or another. So you should know how it feels. It feels like you're right. It feels like you're fighting for the right thing. It feels that way. Let's just be honest. You feel like you're Luke Skywalker, not like you're Darth Vader. You feel like you're Indiana Jones. Not the dude that grabbed the damn thing and had to burn on his hand, and that's how they found the Ark. But they didn't have the other side because he only burned one side, so they didn't know where to dig at in the place. And then Indy came, and he dug in the right spot with the chick. And then they found him, and then they threw him in the hole. Anyway, good movie. Democrats are the bad guys. But it's hard to admit that to yourself when you've been fighting for their principles for so long. You be like, when did this all go bad? And then you look back over time and realize they've never changed what they were fighting for. So this whole entire time I've been fighting for the wrong thing? Because they've never changed what they've been pushing. They've been pushing consistently the same thing. 50, 60, 70 years. Anyway, so I think I got something else I want to show y'all real quick. Fucking Democrats, man. So we were just talking about Trump and their attempts on him. Now check this out. I don't know how many of y'all have heard about this, but this right here is a thing apparently.
2 new revelations from the Trump assassination task force.
Hold on. What do I think what is, Shah? What do I think what is? I'm gonna give him a second. I want to know what he's asking. I'm gonna the drones. No, I'm not assuming they are or aren't anything. I'm just going to go with whatever this narrative or the story is that we're currently learning, and as we learn it, I have no opinion on what it is. Honestly, I have no opinion on what it is. Because there's no way for us to know what it is. We only can know what they're reporting it is. So until somebody reports something different, then we'll know something different. Also, in addition to that, apparently it's in a place where, there's a military base and a golf course or something. So the chances of somebody, just a regular citizen being able to get a up close photo of it like during the daytime or some shit like that. It's probably difficult. So we're only going to be able to see the nighttime lights and shit like that. You understand what I'm saying? Is what I'm going to assume. In any regard, shoot the bitches down. I don't care unless there are drones. Is that what you're trying to infer? He might be thinking, you know, he might believe that there are drones. There's a possibility. Why not? Democrats have tried more than once to somebody who, pardon me, I want to apologize about the previous statement. Democrats have not tried to do anything. But people who are sympathetic to the Democratic Party have tried more than once to attack Trump, it seems. Right? So, in any regard, check this out.
2 new revelations from the Trump assassination task force. According to their report, the Secret Service agent who spotted Ryan Ruth in the bushes outside Trump's golf course was only 5 feet away when he opened fire and missed him. Not once, not twice, 6 times. He missed him 6 times from 5 feet. How does a trained agent who passed the firearms test miss a target away, 5 feet away? That's not all. The report says the Secret Service found out at 2:30 in the morning that Trump would be golfing later that day, but they didn't secure the course, allowing Ruth to camp out for 12 hours before anyone saw him. Meanwhile, Ruth appeared in federal court this morning, and his legal team signaling they're going to go with the insanity defense. How convenient. Ruth's public defender said he has had multiple meetings with a mental health expert while in jail, and the witnesses who saw him before the arrest say he was hallucinating and delusional. Of course. Prosecutors also revealed that Ruth has been doing a lot more writing behind bars than initially reported. Ruth has written nearly 40 letters to news outlets in an attempt to persuade them that he's an honorable guy. But they were intercepted before they reached their targets. We also know that only 17 of the 18 cell phones found in Ruth's possession belong to him. Why does he have 18 cell phones? And wait, he has 17. So who owns the last phone? And why did Ruth have it?
Hey, hold on. Hold on. I got something I want to say, but hold on. Hold on. I hate when this happens. Okay. Yeah, where's my cursor? Okay. Okay. I hate when it does this. All right, hold on. I can still control the damn thing. It's like, there we go. Now the cursor's back. I don't know why it does that. I don't know. I'm trying to do this shit again. There we go. All right. This is my camera. Oh, fuck. No. Hold on, I gotta turn my camera back on. Hey. Hold on. There we go. Ah, that's better than it was previously. All right, so check this out. Y'all remember this guy? Anybody remember this guy? For anybody that don't remember this guy, this is the dude that shot up the church. Nobody else think that that's kind of what in the hell? Oh, I put the wrong name. What's the other dude name? What's the other? Ryan. Right? Ryan? Is that even the dude that they was talking about? Hold on. Was that even the dude that was, what's the other dude name that died? What's that dude name? Thomas Matthew Crooks. What the hell? So, the dude that lived, apparently, is only alive because the Secret Service agent, and just so we can be clear, Secret Service agent. We're not talking about the cop. We're not talking about mall security. We're not talking about some bodyguard that the rappers use when they come to town. We're talking about the Secret Service. You know when the Secret Service shows up, they can control any crime scene? If I'm not incorrect, fact check me because I would like to know if I am. But when the Secret Service shows up, they have authority over every crime scene. If anything is happening on American soil and the Secret Service shows up and say, we're taking over, there is zero that any other service or any other a government organization can do. And you're telling me that an agent that works for that agency missed how many times from 5 feet away? 5 feet away is shorter than the distance that Michael Jordan is tall. Think about that for a moment. 5 feet away is shorter than the distance than Danny DeVito is tall. How tall is Danny DeVito? 5'2"? Hold on. Just, we're going to get an understanding about, I know what I'm talking about. How you spell DeVito, right? Okay, almost. He's 5'10". How tall is what's this dude name? 5'7". It's closer. It's shorter than the difference than Tom Cruise, who historically is short, is tall. So he was within 5 feet. A Secret Service agent. Nobody else don't think they need an explanation? What's some more short people we know about? Right? What's some more short people? Okay, I got another short person. Spud Webb. How tall is Spud Webb? Spud Webb. The distance is shorter than Spud Webb is tall. There's just need for you to understand how short. Who's another short person? Robert De Niro. Oh, he's 5'10"? He's not 5'10". That's a lie. He ain't 5'10". They lied. He's not 5'10". Al Pacino. Okay, Al Pacino is the one that's not. Oh, no, Robert De Niro showed also. Yeah. Five, 6. These. So just so we could be clear, I think I've read that. I just wanted to see the height of some motherfuckers. I ain't gonna lie to you. So just so we could be clear, how many attempts has there been on Trump? Is there people that should have a real, honest concern about Trump making it into office and becoming president? And are some of these people that are in positions of authority and power in America? Think about it like this. How does all of those people from the IRS say that they're gonna retire? If what's this guy name? Cash Patel gets hired somewhere or something. Like there's like a ton of people that they just gonna just quit. I'm gonna tell you what I think is happening on this particular aspect. There's some videos that already started circulating. See, the thing that the American people sometimes don't grasp is these dudes all know each other's secrets. When stuff hit the fan, it's just being made public. We're just finding out about it. Even when you see the person that's like, oh man, I would have never guessed. They knew. Because they all know. It's just that they all got similar skeletons in the closet. So that makes it so that nobody tells on anyone else. Do you understand why Trump is so dangerous? Because he doesn't have any skeletons. So he's hiring all the other people that don't have any skeletons. These people have been fighting against these mother effers for years. They've been fighting against the deep state. And now they finally have the opportunity to fight open warfare against them after having to fight in the shadows, losing many a times. Why do you think they're fighting so hard to prevent certain people from getting certain positions? Because they know where the bodies are buried. Pay attention. Every single celebrity that said they leave in America, yeah. Every last one of you, yeah. I think you in on some crime in some capacity. Yeah, don't go nowhere. Hold your horses. Allow for the retribution to happen. You deserve it. You know what you did. Just sit still and be easy. Because being held accountable for it in this lifetime is going to be way better than being held accountable for it in the next. So hold still. Accept your retribution and hope you pay your fair share before you have to move on. That part. Shah Brim says, I don't know if you spoke on the tariffs already, but I have a question. Is it most of everything from China? Okay, so let's talk about tariffs. I'll have this conversation all the way, 360. I don't even know why I just said that lame ass phrase. So I want to be clear on something. Tariffs are good. Tariffs are a positive thing. We shouldn't be paying taxes in America to our government. The only reason why we pay income tax at all is because after there was a war, I think it was World War I or World War II, I think it was World War II, there was a situation where the government needed to be funded. So under a limited period of time, we were to pay taxes. Then that was supposed to go away. It just didn't. So we're not supposed to pay taxes. The government is supposed to be funded through tariffs. So for the people that don't get it, I'm going to explain this probably the best way. And I'm going to explain a couple of things that I don't think people really quite understand. Y'all are so concerned with foreign countries being able to sell their goods in America. But do you know how many of these countries won't even allow America to sell their goods over there? They put tariffs so high that we don't ship our stuff over there, or they just don't allow American companies to put their cars over there. American companies like General Motors, Ford, they're not even allowed to sell their vehicle in certain countries. Do y'all know this? These same countries that you're kind of pissed off because tariffs might be raised on them, forcing for them to now allow for those vehicles to be sold in that country. You understand what tariffs are used for? I don't think people really get it. A lot of times tariffs are used as a leveraging tool for another country to get them to behave fairly. Even over in China, Japan, there was a stipulation that had been put in where countries could sell freely from Japan into America, and there was no tariff put on them. And that was put there so that Japan will be able to rebuild their economy. I believe it was a situation that also went on like that for Germany also, just so we could be clear, where America allowed for them to ship their goods over here and sell paying zero tariffs in order for the economy of both of those countries to be able to rebuild. And it was successful. But they didn't repeal those policies, so those policies still exist to this day. So you're trying to tell me that Japan and Germany should still have the ability to be able to sell their goods over here in America, while American companies can't go sell their goods over in those countries? I'm just asking. I'm not saying you're saying that. But that's what these individuals that keep complaining about Trump saying that he's going to raise taxes are complaining about. Do you understand how stupid that is? And I don't blame them. I'm just saying they don't know what they're talking about because the content that they follow is actively lying to them instead of informing them. So that part. But yeah, so that's one thing raising tariffs does. So those countries like Japan's and Alex, hold on. So what Trump plans on doing is he plans on getting rid of income tax. I can tell you right now what the end goal is. The end goal is to get rid of income tax. They don't got to tell me. I can see what they're doing. Their end goal is to get rid of income tax. I don't know if they're going to be successful, but that's their end goal. I think Trump wants to do that during this administration, making him a president of the people forever. I think he wants to get rid of income tax. Because remember, they're getting rid of payroll tax damn near. Remember? Everybody forgot about that. They trying to delete him now, fam. You do know that. So yes, like I said, I believe that's what he's trying to do. And the first one of the main things that you have to do is raise tariffs. One of the main things. What I don't think the people that argue against tariffs understand is many of these countries' economy is built off of their ability to sell goods to America. Many of these countries' entire economy is built off of that. Entire economy. So when Trump says, I'm raising taxes, that can, pardon me, tariffs, that can destroy their economy. He's saying, this is what you do, what I want to do. And the thing I'm asking you to do is pretty fair. I'm not asking you to do I'm not asking you to sell me your children. I'm not asking for you to assassinate anybody. The thing I'm asking you to do is pretty fair. So do that thing. Or I'm going to give you the same treatment that you've been giving us. And let's see how you live through it. So when I hear people argue against him doing tariffs, I'm like, why do you hate America? Why do you hate Americans? Appreciate that shot. He says, see, nobody appreciate that. Like, why do you hate Americans? Now, with the raising of tariffs in China, you know, China don't allow American goods in their country. Like, they don't allow we can't sell nothing in China. They don't allow it in their ports, but they sell everything in America. I want to know why it's not fair that they tariffs ain't raised through the fucking roof. Explain that to me. That problem's going to be fixed in like a day or two. Don't even worry about it. But there you go right there. Copy? So I want to be clear. I don't want there to be no misunderstanding. Tariffs are good. Tariffs are one, a bargaining tool to force other countries to deal with us fairly. Fairly. Yeah, you could pull up right there, fam. I appreciate you. Not for nothing. If it's like, I feel like being silly. If it's something big, I do the saloon. If it's something big. If it's not, you know, it is what it is. I want to keep going with what we're doing. I think I'm doing pretty good content. I don't really want to drift too far away from what I'm doing right now. You know, I'll get sidetracked. With that being said, so when we talk about tariffs, why would the Democratic Party want to raise the taxes on the American people but be against raising tariffs on foreign countries? Explain that to me. I need an explanation. The Democratic Party is pro raise taxes on American people, because let's just be clear, inflation is the invisible tax. That's went through the roof. In addition to that, they're saying that if you raise tariffs, those people are going to spend, you're going to have to pay more for those products. Well, by that same logic, if you raise taxes on corporations that are in America, then they're going to spend more, they're going to charge more money. All right, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. So just so we can be clear, I ate some rice and beans the other day. Somebody made me some rice and beans the other day. That shit was banging. That would have got me some Popeyes and ate it with that shit. That shit was banging. I just thought about that right now because he said something about something, and I was just thinking, I gotta get to lunch and shit. That shit was banging. Then rice and beans was good as fuck. Part of my language. Anyway, in any regard, so the Democratic elected officials will tell you that if we raise tariffs, that the imported goods are going to be more expensive and it costs the American people more. And at the same time, they say we're gonna raise taxes on all of these corporate people. Like that's not gonna force them to have to do the thing that they're saying the foreign countries are gonna do. Raise the price of their good, raise the cost of their goods. So why do they want the American goods to be so expensive, but the foreign goods to not? Why do the elected Democratic Party dislike American businesses? And if you dislike American businesses, then how can you then say that you don't dislike America? And then you look at our colleges and see how every time they protest, they mad at America. A whole nother country will do some shit, and college students will be pissed at Americans. They'll be pissed at, what are you doing about it? Same thing you doing, motherfucker. Jump on a plane, go over there and fight. You ain't do that yet, right? That's what I'm doing, not that. How about that? We doing the same thing about it. Unless you're going to jump on a plane and go to whatever country that is that you're complaining about this week and actually fight. I don't want to hear nothing. Unless you're a woman, then don't go over there and fight. Go work in the hospital. You can go fight if you want. I mean, I don't know how their policies are working over there. They might not let you fight. I don't know what country y'all arguing about this week. Let's see what else I got to show y'all. Oh, man, I got some COVID stuff, but I don't want them to hit me with problems on YouTube. So I was, let's see this.
So I hope that you all feel that sense of, peace and light, and that just for a moment when you leave here today that you feel, I don't know, a sense of joy. Because I think we all need like this, we all need to feel joy now during this time of the season, during this time. So anyway, okay, now I'll start. You're all reading into that.
Do y'all remember when Trump said Kamala and Joe Biden said Kamala and Biden don't even like each other? Remember when he said that? And the left tried to say he's capping. They made a big deal about it. He always lying. They love each other. Why did Jill Biden just make a mockery of Kamala Harris's campaign slogan. That's bananas. Why is Jill Biden wearing red? Are you paying attention? Are you paying attention? They forced Joe to step aside. His family did not want to step aside for whatever their reasons were. Not only him saying, Kamala Harris, I endorse her, because they didn't want him to do that. They also didn't want him to pardon his son, which he did. Oh, you heard about the other thing he did too, right? He pardoned. Hold on, let me show you something else real quick.
So I hope that you all feel that sense of, you know, peace.
Show you something else. God dang it. Every time I switch to this view, hold on. What do you do? Joe Biden pardons, like 100,000, 13,000 people or something. I think something like that. 15,000. Anyway, check this out. Joe Biden commutes roughly 1,500 sentences and pardons 39 people, most ever in a single day. Yeah, because he just pardoned his son, and they're trying to make it seem like, nah, I just pardoned a lot of people. My son name, it was in there. I didn't know. Oh man. In any regard, President Biden is commuting the sentences of nearly 1,500 people who are released from prison and placed on home confinement during the coronavirus pandemic. It's pardoned 39 Americans convicted of nonviolent crimes. It's the largest single-day act of clemency in modern history. The White House not yet released names of those who received relief. The commutations announced Thursday are for people who have served out their home confinement sentences for at least 1 year after they were released. Prison was uniquely bad for spreading the virus, and some inmates released. Prisons were uniquely bad for spreading the virus, and some inmates were released in part to stop the spread. At some point, 1 in 15 prisoners had COVID-19, according to a tally kept by the American press. These actions represent the largest single-day grant of clemency in modern-day history. First of all, he didn't freaking grant them clemency for any reason other than you do know that he did that just so Trump couldn't do that, right? Y'all know that? Like, y'all do understand politics? That was going to be one of the first things Trump was going to do when he get into office. And then it was going to be like, so Joe Biden pardoned his son, but he left all of those people in jail after all of this new things about the vac is about to come out. For everybody that don't know, in other countries, they're talking openly about how that's a biohazard. I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying in other countries, they're openly talking about how certain things in jabs created was in the jab caused for it to be labeled as a biohazard in their country. I'm not saying that it is one. I'm not saying that it is one. I want to be clear on this. I'm just saying that there are countries that are labeling it that. I was actually thinking about playing a clip. Let me see what this one is real quick. Nope, not playing that one.
Government officials in Slovakia are moving to ban the dangerous COVID-19 mRNA shots from the country. This after an explosive investigation determined that the pandemic was a fabricated operation and the vaccines were a resulting act of bioterrorism. So the findings were revealed in a Slovak government commission report on the nation's investigation into the COVID pandemic. The investigation was led by Commissioner Peter Coulter. In releasing his report, Kotler held a press conference to recall for the immediate ban of the COVID mRNA injections and called on governments around the world to do the same. Due to the severity of the findings detailed in the report, Kotler has called for an emergency session of the government to immediately ban the vaccines and to cut the nation's ties with the globalist World Health Organization. Kotler noted that the most serious finding is that mRNA preparations alter human DNA. So Slovakia's health minister, Zuzana Dolinkova, resigned almost immediately after Kotler's bombshell press conference. Now, her resignation came after only 11 months in office.
Prenos v Wuhanu bol s najväčšou pravdepodobnosťou zabezpečený infikovaním.
So that's why he commuted their sentences, all right? Pardon me. Don't let them spin that. The last thing he wanted was Trump to come into office and then be like, these people should have never been in trouble in the first place. Oh, man, he would have been in all the troubles. All of the troubles. So that's why that happened. And that's why I believe that happened. In any regard, wanted to talk about something. We can't talk about it because I'm still in the process of trying to figure out how to make the shit get integrated and work. But big things. They're also hopefully they'll I don't want to say metastasize, but hopefully they'll resonate. No, I don't even want to say resonate. Hopefully they'll be applicable today. I'll use that word. Sometimes you just see stuff and you're just like, what the heck? This is what this world is coming to? Like, we couldn't have did any better than this? Like, what in the hell? Like, what in the hell? I feel, and I'm going to say something, just so we could be clear. For the Democratic voters, I am upset with you. I want both parties to consistently put out competent nominations. Both parties. And if there's a third competent person, I would want for them to have their voice be heard. I do not at all agree with one party forcing someone through that the people don't necessarily want, because that's when you get what you just got. And I don't think that that's fair, independent of whoever I think should or shouldn't be president. I don't think that that's fair for the voting Democratic class, for the people who proudly wear that badge with honor. I don't think that that's fair, and I don't like that the Democratic Party did that to them. I want the Democratic Party to always put together competent nominees for whatever the position is that's being discussed. And I don't think that they did that in this particular instance. And I think that, I don't know, they need new leadership. When I'm saying new leadership, I mean whoever's this design was need to go the way of the dinosaurs. Whatever idea it was to do any of these things which was done, need to go the way of the dinosaur. Because even after Joe said, I'm putting my energy behind Kamala, Kamala was supposed to just come out and say, look, I appreciate what Joe did, but in all fairness, this is a democracy and we have to have the people need to vote for the nominee. There's not a soul that exists that could have spoken against that. And the temerity that it would have took to step out on that ledge. the sheer balls to be handed something and say, nah, I'm going to go get it. In any regard, we are at 11:30. I want to get to some things, and I have to try to get a thing working. I'm not sure how I'm going to get it working, but I need to get a thing working. So I might have to holler at y'all, and we're going to I'm trying to figure out how to get a thing working. I need you to bear with me. That's what I've been doing. Give me one second. Yeah, I need to get something to work. I gotta work out something. I gotta figure out how to make this thing work. I got a thing going on over here. Anyway, yo, look, I love y'all. Everybody have a blessed day. And I'm not gonna lie, I have some of that rice and beans still. That's what was a bit on. Ever since I mentioned that shit, it was time to go. It was lunchtime. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Everybody have a blessed day today. Go out there in the world, do something worth doing. Stamp God's name on it and let people know that you come to let his light shine. It's not about us. It's about him. Because without him, there's no we. Like, comment, subscribe. Join the notification gang. Hashtag Bronx Bombers. Let's get it. I love y'all. Take care of each other. Hug the kids for me. I haven't forgotten about you. And that's all I get on this one.
Hey! Is the noon train on time?
Supposed to be.